Thank you for listening to the Retrospection section, where we review terrible writing we were once proud of. I'm Max.
I'm Rava.
And we love to make fun of ourselves. Today we'll be reading a short story by me from 2006. The plot is non-existent, but it follows a group of kids in a off-world space hospital, and there's a robotic T-Rex. That's pretty much it. Somebody gets kidnapped, but nobody ever finds out why. And the main character's name is Maxie, so we can tell right away that this is a self-insert. Sit back, relax, and cringe with us. My name is Maxie, and I live in a hospital. I know, you're probably thinking, why, in all caps? Well, this is my book, and I'm going to tell you all that you need to know, which is a lot. Well, first of all, I want to introduce you people to Diddy, spelled like Diddy Kong Racing.
I always just picture her as Diddy Kong, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, me too. Like, I definitely picture, like, the little video game monkey. Hold on, she wants to sign her name, and then it does an ellipses, and it just has the word Diddy in, like, a handwriting font. So I think this is supposed to be, like, a meta journal type thing.
Oh, it definitely is.
Epistolary, but sort of not. Diddy is this cute little 6-year-old who lives at the hospital ship because she doesn't have a family. Parentheses, the hospital is also an orphanage.
What was it with you and orphans, man?
I don't know. I think it was just, like, convenience.
They were all either orphans or adopted.
Yeah, it's like convenience because that way I don't have to make the parents characters. And then also it's edginess because orphans are edgy in my 6th grade mind. Diddy does not let that bother her, though. I think that not having a family would be worse than being run over by a cruiser coming in for a landing, but that's just me because my family is already gone and I've already been run over by a cruiser coming in for a landing. That's why I'm here right now and for the rest of my life, because I'm imperfect, in italics, and nobody wants me anymore because my legs don't work and I have to crawl around all the time. But Diddy wants me, and that's why I love her so much, so there. Now there is Lily and Angel, because I plagiarized the name Angel straight out of Maximum Ride along with the name Max. And then all of these words have dashes in between them. The best friends, even though they fight almost every second of the day duo. Angel's got real short hair and is in the hospital because a meteor hit her home ship and she was caught in the debris and now she has a broken arm. And nobody's really sure about this yet. Brain damage, I think. Well, at least she doesn't really talk much except when she's fighting with Lily.
I feel like that's a bigger thing to address than the broken arm.
Yeah, and I feel like, why does she say nobody's really sure about this? I feel like the doctors at this hospital would definitely know.
Maybe.
I mean, it is like however many hundreds of years in the future. Speaking of Lily, Lily's got this thing that she was diagnosed with. It's called hypodremia. It's where you get all hyper and then you fall asleep on the spot and you dream.
So it's like extreme space narcolepsy.
It should be hyperdremia, but...
Maybe she doesn't dream. Maybe it's called hypodremia because she falls asleep, but she doesn't dream.
But it says you fall asleep on the spot and you dream.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to ascribe logic to this that doesn't exist.
Don't ascribe logic to this. It doesn't deserve it. I must have seen it happen to Lily about 100 times in the past day and a half that I've been here. So I guess it's kind of constant. It's really sad, but also kind of funny because she makes all these weird faces. So, now you're wondering who I am. I'm really not. My name is Maxie, I'm 13 years old, and I have light brown hair and hazel eyes that are almost green. Oh, wow, looks exactly like me. I've got a little nose and pursed lips. That's false, my nose is large. Actually, my face would be kind of pretty, except for the fact that it's all scarred from being squashed like a bug. Okay, now you are thinking, why and how did I get run over by a cruiser in the first place? Well, it's actually quite simple if you put it all into one big sentence. I was walking along the runway waiting for my new dog to come all the way from Earth, long story, when someone pushed me out onto the runway and I was squashed like a bug, and now I'm going to get whoever pushed me out there and wring his stupid little neck. Makes sense? But here's the bad thing. I can't go wring his stupid little neck because I've got no working legs and there's no wheelchairs. Don't ask. It had something to do with a bomb and I don't know all the details. Wait.
A bomb in the wheelchair factory.
And then there's no wheelchairs ever anywhere.
Because you can import dogs from Earth, but you sure can't import wheelchairs.
No, and you can't, just reinvent them.
Nope.
And I have to learn how to do everything all over again. Talking, communicating, and I can never walk again. But hey, at least I can still write. If I couldn't write, I would probably go berserk. Because it's the only thing I can do except sit, crawl, and yes, go to the restroom. Smiley face emoji. But Diddy understands. I don't understand how she does it. She understands everything about anyone in the universe. It's like she wasn't 6 at all. It's like she was 200 or something. Anyway, right now, I'm laying in my bed. The only thing I've been doing for 2 days. Ugh, all caps with 3 exclamation marks. I am so bored I could scream if I could remember how.
So you don't remember how to scream or talk, but you can write.
Makes sense. There's this stuff I have to take, brown bubbly liquid that's supposed to help close cuts by, like, thickening your blood or something, but it gives me tons of energy. More tomorrow. Later.
Drink this sewage runoff. It will help.
Okay, today is Friday. I feel better, so I'm going to go watch some TV. Oh, and Angel wanted me to tell you she got her cast off. Smiley face emoji. Yay. I can't remember the last time I saw a good Programmers episode. Programmers is a show about some robots that have to save a planet from exploding. But then again, I can't remember much.
I like that this character knows all this stuff. Like, I remember how to write, and I remember this TV show, and I remember I was run over by a spaceship while waiting for my dog to come from Earth. But also, they don't know anything, supposedly.
Lily, Angel, Diddy, and all the nurses are all out on a walk through the halls to get their exercise, but it's more like a slow limp. So I've been watching TV for about 3 minutes when suddenly the doors burst open, and the nurses come in carrying the limp form of Lily, not another hypodremia attack. Sad face emoji. Meanwhile, I'm freaking out, and Diddy's screaming like a fire engine, whatever those are.
Smooth.
What does that mean? I just, made a simile and then, negated the simile. And the nurse is yelling, somebody call IXII. Hey, that's from Hercules.
That's directly from Hercules.
Somebody call IXII!
So I rushed to the phone, Phone, the Flagma Automated No Expense Engineer, and I scream into the receiver, hello, operator, my friend's having a hypodremia attack, and we need emergency help right away. Or at least that's what I think I say. Wait, they're at a hospital. Who is she calling?
First of all, you're at a hospital. Second, I thought you didn't know how to talk.
Apparently, her speech is just all, garbled, because then the nurse or whatever, the operator is like, excuse me, your Bend Lille is fabbing a margarita? You need a Tolgany Melf? Height Maban? I think you might have the wrong number. So, she's repeating back what she's saying.
So the operator's mocking someone with a speech impediment. That's a good start.
Says the person, and I yell, you're no help. Well, thank you very much, but I don't need to belch, said the lady, and I'm all like, shup thub, which is supposed to be shut up, but it came out wrong. This is so painful. I turn to the nurse, and I just stand there like a stupid person, and someone asks in a teensy tiny voice, is she okayed? But I don't see anyone's mouth moving, and then I realize it's my voice. Next day. Lily hasn't woken up yet, but I still haven't given up hope. I just keep sitting by her bed and worrying, even though I heard the nurses confiding to each other that Lily might not make it out of this one. I'm so scared I don't know what to do. Well, I will write tomorrow because Diddy just came in and told me she wants to play with me for a little bit. More tomorrow.
I like that this suddenly has supposed stakes, but also the stakes are just like, wow, she has a quirky fun disease that makes her make silly faces. I love making fun of her. Oh my god, she might die.
Oh god. Tomorrow. Nope. More later. Later. She lives with...
I'm literally not even going to try to count that.
181 exclamation marks.
I hate that.
That's really,
egregious? Sure is.
Sure is. I can't believe it. I'm just sitting on her bed and Lily slowly blinks open her eyes and says, who are you? And I'm so happy. I just sit there and then wow, this sentence goes on and on. I'm hugging her and she's crying and I'm crying. And then I call the nurse and the nurse comes in and then she's crying and then Diddy comes in and Angel. And then we're all hugging and crying on each other. And then Lily's all, so what's for lunch? I'm starved. And then we're all laughing. More tomorrow.
Young Yu had a real problem with, long sentences that don't need to be long.
I think that was actually intent. I think I was trying to do a stylistic thing. Oh, everything is happening so fast.
You can do that stylistically, but, I feel like Young Yu wanted to and didn't know how.
Yeah, it did not come across. Tomorrow again. So now that Lily woke up on her own, she gets a reward. What?
Good job not dying.
Yeah, because she controls that. She chose to go out on the planet, we're on an attachment out in space, and pick flowers. Geez, I've never been happier, not even when I was 8 and I got a little cat from Earth, which she remembers even though she doesn't remember anything. I thought that was pretty cool, but not as good as your friend waking up after the nurses told you she wouldn't. Well, now we are on a transport ship and we are going down to the planet Flagma. Diddy won't let go of my leg, she hates flying. When we finally get there, I leap, if it could be considered leaping, out into the field of flowers and I warble.
You gotta do it.
The Phils Arb Alibe, with like several different extraneous letters, with a count of music, because once I watched this old movie from the 20th century and they sing that song.
How are you leaping? You don't have legs at work. And you don't have wheelchairs.
Oh, for our listeners, I'm going to include this at the end of the video. We actually filmed a short movie of this, me and my friends. And in the movie, I was like walking around on my knees. Like that was how the character just like got around, was like she kind of just like shuffled on her knees, because that makes sense.
Because working legs doesn't mean your legs don't work.
Right.
Just means you can't stand up all the way.
Right. Probably a little bit better than I just did, though. And Lily and Angel and Diddy laugh, and even the nurse, who hardly does anything more than smile, laughed a little, and they all came running out, and we picked flowers together. We laugh and roll around and get stung by bees, ouch, and get a beautiful bouquet, and then we laugh some more, and the nurse feels like mom, and Diddy and Angel and Lily feel like family. It is the best day of my life when suddenly a huge thing bursts out of a big bush, and Lily screams, "Robo-Rex!" with 5 exclamation marks. And we all scatter, with me picking up Diddy and running as fast as I can back to the ship. And wouldn't you know it, I trip and drop my baby. She still hasn't let go of the bouquet though, and she stops to make sure none of the flowers have gotten crumpled.
Oh my god, Young Yu also had a weird obsession with like young teenagers adopting younger children and calling them their baby.
Yeah, I don't...
Because that also happens in like multiple different writers' books.
Yeah, and in the Disorder Division, they find that whole room of children.
Yeah. Did they call them their babies though, or did they just like rescue them in the girl's stomach?
I think they call the first little girl that they meet their baby. I don't know, it's fuzzy.
Like, what was your deal?
I honestly, I have
Your
no answer.
suppressed parental urges were really coming out.
They really were, and now, oh god, I don't even know, I don't have...
You used up all of your parenting instincts on that.
Yeah, it was all expended, and now it's gone, and I never want to have children. Wow, that is a very strange, specific to Max trope.
It sure is.
Drop it, sweetie, I say, and look at the robot thing coming straight for Diddy, and I scoop her up and I run back to the ship. Diddy's squirming to get the bouquet. I'm halfway there when she jumps out of my hands and starts running back to get the flowers. I scream at her to come back, but she won't listen. Those better be some pretty special flowers, I think. Then, to my horror, I see the Robo-Rex picking up... Okay, this, by the way, is an actual robot T-Rex that's running after them. That's what it is. There's no explanation, but that's what
it's kind of rad, honestly.
Yeah, but why?
It's the best thing about this book. Because why not? It's a Robo T-Rex. That's rad.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll give it
it to you.
I see the Robo-Rex picking up Diddy in its huge fists, and I run... That's unrealistic.
What's going on? Why aren't you seizing the boy?
And I run towards it to fight the huge thing, but it's too late. It's already stalking off with the crying Diddy in its hand. Wrong its. And I'm running after it, but then it lifts into the sweet-smelling air with its jetpack. And then I draw it to the ground, and I yell, "Diddy, come back." I'm sorry. I'm picturing the robot T-Rex with a jetpack. That is a wonderful image.
Incredible.
But I know it will do no good, and I realize I was running.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
I get up, but I can't move my legs. A last moment of using my own legs, and I didn't even notice it. What? I bury my head deep into my hands and cry, but then the nurse is in front of me, and I just let her help me back into the ship, and then I think, my baby is gone. And then we are back at the hospital. I just want to crawl under the covers and stay there forever, but I know that I have to be strong for the others. It may be a while before I write again, edgelord. A week later,
Sure
Diddy's
is.
gone, and it's my fault. I didn't hold on to her tight enough. Yeah. And I'll never see her again. My baby is gone. I still can't get over it, because it's just who would want to take someone as innocent and beautiful as Diddy away from someone as lonely and sad
A
as
T-Rex.
I am? All right, Victor
A T-Rex
Frankenstein.
that's hungry and doesn't care about your fifis. Wait, do Robo T-Rexes have an appetite? No, they do.
Sure. There is a reason.
Of course there
they
is.
take her someplace?
There's always a reason.
We'll find out. I'm trying to forget, but it's just so unbearable. Tomorrow I'll be happier, I promise. Tomorrow. Okay, I'm better, I think. And guess what? A new patient came.
I lost my baby! A Robo-Rex ate my baby!
The dingoes got my baby!
Alright, there's no patient!
Woo! A new patient came in today, that's what. I'm going to go check it out, see if maybe we could be friends, because she looked about my age. Well, let's go take a look. I'm crawling, yes, crawling down the halls, and then I turn left into the new patient's room, which is huge, where there's hardly any decoration, just like a bed and a table, a bed and a table, a bed and a table, over and over. It's like someone took a picture of a bed and a table and copied it a billion times and taped it all together. Well, this is before I knew about copy-paste, apparently. And the worst thing is that the only color in that big room full of copied picture is the new girl's bright red hair. Even her skin is the color of everything, palish, creamy colored. And her freckles stand out on her skin, making her look like she was maybe the underside of a pancake.
Okay, that's actually a cute comparison.
I guess?
You know what I mean. Like, it's original, but it's also not, like, demeaning in any way. It's just kind of cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know what it means.
I guess. Yeah, you can picture it. All right, enough about food. It's making me hungry. I go up to her bed and pop.
Hungry like a Roborex.
Too soon.
It's been a day! You should be over it.
I go up to her bed and pop up in the chair next to it. She kind of opens her eyes about a second before I pop up, and then she yelps softly when I kind of just appear there, smiling the most sympathetic smile I can put on my kind of unsympathetic features. The girl says roughly, "Who are you?" "I'm Maxie," I reply. "I'm Roxy," says Roxy. Can you believe that she actually can understand me? I can't. "Hi, so what are you doing here? I mean, why are you in the hospital?" I ask carefully. "Oh, I got shot in the leg while going through a pile of stuff at the waste market on Earth," says Roxy casually. "A scavenger. Gasp! The most dangerous kind of folk that you could meet. Or at least that's what I heard. Dot, dot, dot. So," I say uncertainly, "who shot you?" "Just some guy. I didn't see his face, but I'm going to find whoever it is and wring his stupid little neck," says Roxy. Just what I would have said. And I did actually say that at the beginning of this book, in parentheses, smiley emoji. Maybe it was the same guy who pushed me out a runway to be squashed like a bug," I say, craving revenge. "Oh, well, that's just deplorable," says Roxy. I don't know what deplorable means, but I'm sure it's something bad like cold spaghetti, I say, and Roxy laughs. I'm glad I've made What? I'm glad I've made her day a bit brighter using something like spaghetti. Then I think of something else I need to ask Roxy. "So have you gotten any visitors yet?" I say. "Nope, and I won't get any the whole time I'm here because I don't have anybody to visit me. My mom and da are dead," says Roxy indifferently.
When
Why?
in doubt, they're an orphan.
Yeah. I'm like, how can she just say that and not start crying right off? But anyway, that must be sad, I say. "No," she says. "No, pray tell why," I say. "Well, I do wonder what it's like," says Roxy wistfully. "Ah, alas," I say in a sing-song voice, "I shall never know, for my parents are gone also." And then I quote, "Parting is such sweet sorrow," as I slide off the chair and walk out on my knees.
I hate that.
Me too. Ugh. Behind me and through the door, I hear Roxy giggling softly to herself, and I can almost instantly tell we're going to be friends. More tomorrow. Tomorrow. So Roxy and I decided to do something very bad. I'll tell you more after we meet in the lobby and discuss it. More later.
Oh my.
Later. All right, I think I got it. Go, Roxy. The pink pen is Roxy's and the purple is mine. Okay, so it's literally like they just kind of like switch off writing. Red text. So we're going to whence I get better. That's wrong use of whence. But whatever. Sneak into the dressing rooms and swipe 2 pairs of security outfits, size extra small, women's. Purple text. Then, this is the middle of the night, by the way. We'll go through the halls until we find the boarding emergency dock. Pink text. The nurses and doctors usually keep an emergency vehicle there, and once Maxie and the others test drove it to make sure that it would support multiple people.
Yes, let's have the child patients test drive our emergency vehicles.
So she'll be driving. Thank you, smiley face. This is like 6th grade. I feel like I should have had a little bit more common sense than I did.
Yeah.
Purple text. So we're going to fly down to Flagma and using the ultra-sensitive metal-detecting GPA system.
Oh,
What is that?
ground penetrating.
I wonder if it will tell us later, but I'm not gonna hope too hard.
I literally can't even think of a bad joke for this.
So, as you can see, this is quite a complicated matter. Well, anyway, we are going to leave the second that Roxy gets better. Make that the night that Roxy gets better. More tomorrow. Tomorrow. Well, now I am gathering supplies while Roxy watches TV. She said that she would help, but she can't because the nurses told her to rest. Because tomorrow we are going to go to the gym. Yes, we do have a small gym here. For Angel's birthday and swing around on the bars and do belly flops onto mats.
I like that all of the world building is just given in random parentheses whenever it's necessary. Like, oh, by the way, we're going down to the plant because we're on a attachment. Like, oh, okay,
Okay.
sure.
I guess, like, maybe that's more organic, but it doesn't work.
It's not.
Well, anyway, Roxy says that her leg is feeling much better, and she feels almost all the way better because years and years of being a scavenger has toughened her up. She's kind of a show-off and a bragger, but so am I, so that's okay. Tomorrow or the next day, for sure, we will leave. Next day. Okay, it's almost sundown, and we are just about to get into our beds, quotation marks. We get in, and as soon as the nurses close the door, we throw back our covers and leap out. Well, I kind of just slide, and Roxy just stands up. Well, it feels like leaping to me. My heart is pounding. Why does every sentence start with well?
Well, well, well.
Well. It's too late. I had to go for the stupid butt joke.
My heart is pounding as we quietly put on our dressing gowns. We wait until the crack of light coming in through our door, we now sleep in the same room, has gone out and slipped out the door. Going as fast as we can, we sneak out into the lobby and behind the front desk where they usually keep a bunch of security outfits in a bin inside of a cabinet.
Sure.
We go through them and finally find a pair of extra smalls.
Wait a second. Their plan was to sneak into the dressing rooms, not behind the front desk.
That's true. We go through them and finally find a pair of extra smalls, but they aren't even nearly small enough because they are men's. How humiliating. But anyway, B put them on and continue walking down the halls and find the emergency boarding dock. We get in, buckle up, I push on the pedal, and we're off. Not to sound too self-unimpressed, I made that word up, but I'm a horrible driver. The turns are all jerky, and Roxy screeches like a monkey the whole flight down, but once we reach the start of the atmosphere, things start evening out a bit. Then we paste our vision on the GPA screen and just hover there and start drifting along. And finally we find our target and swoop down there right on time. It is almost 1 o'clock, and we are just about to land right about when the work starts. How do we know that the place where Diddy is being kept was a company, you ask? Oh!
We did ask, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Good question. No idea. I just feel it.
Thank you, Maxie, for that enlightening addition to the story.
What in the world?
I feel it in my bones. Capitalism.
It does give off a certain aura. I have to admit, however, that I'm having some doubts. Well, gee, I wonder why. What if the Robo-Rex that we are seeing is a different robot? No, I tell myself, this is the only one we see on the screen, so therefore it has to be the one. And I'm right.
I can only see one car out my window, so that must be the car that hit me. That's my car? I can only see my driveway? Well, I can only see one car, so it must be the car. The logic. It's incredible.
It really is. And I'm right. Once we get out of the ship, which we parked behind the building, I see that the building is just the right size to house a Robo-Rex or 2, or maybe 40. Anyway, it says with like 5 A's. The suns are rising. I can't believe that what we are going to be doing, but then I think this is for Diddy and for me. I want to get revenge on that stupid dude for almost killing me and Roxy. How do I know it's the same guy? Another good question. Still no idea.
At least you eventually wised up and were like,
I should explain this.
I sure made a lot of assumptions here.
Oh, man. So, anyway, some workers arrived already, so we appear to be right on time. Now we are rounding the building, and I have a plan, so we shrink back into the shadows. I say to Roxy, you could drag me in there saying that I was getting ready to fix the chimney when I fell on the roof, so now you're taking me inside to get me a cup of water or something.
We are not doing Get Help.
Great idea, she says, and I lay down, trying to act as knocked out as I can. Then Roxy grabs me by the ankle and commences to dragging me across the pavement. It's pretty much the only thing I can do to suppress multiple yelps of ouch, 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 but I barely do it, keeping my eyes shut. I hear Roxy say to the guy at the door, hey, this man fell off the roof trying to watch the sunrise. I think I understand that we have a policy here. I hate her for calling me a man, but hey, she's a man too, right? What? Yeah, says the dude. We have a strict policy. Stay right there. I'm going to go get the security manual.
We have a strict policy. I have no idea what it is. But I'm sure we have it.
I'm sure it's in the security manual.
Honestly, actually, that is a normal security response.
Pretty much. I open my eyes briefly, and I see Roxy mouth, yes, and I'm so excited that I can barely act passed out anymore, but I manage. Then the man returns. I hear the man say, yeah, this is the policy. Page 275, section 5, paragraph 3. All men not into work by 2 o'clock. I like how it's assumed that, like, only men work here. I think it was literally just my young self being like, oh, it's a company. Only guys work at companies at, like, jobs where you have to wear uniforms and their security. Like, that was just my, like, 6th grade brain doing.
Why did they have uniforms for this mysterious company that we've never heard about before, that they don't even know is involved, behind the front desk of the hospital/orphanage?
That is a really good question.
It's a conspiracy!
The secrets are aligning.
Oh my god.
All men not into work by 2 o'clock will be prosecuted by being fed to the Robo-Rex number 27.
That's not what prosecuted means. That's not even remotely what prosecuted means.
It is now.
It is on Flagga.
Flagma.
I hate that so much.
Me too. And I'm thinking there's more than one, but I can practically feel Roxy's excitement when the dude said Robo-Rex. And then when we get inside, I open my eyes a pinch and Roxy mouths, "We're in." And I'm so happy I can barely contain my happiness.
All right.
That's a sentence. The fact that I am about to be fed to a giant robot was a different matter. So now we are walking down the hallway, using convenient signs that say Robo-Rex Sanctum and Prisoner Hold. What kind of company would keep prisoners, I wonder? This one apparently does.
Any American company.
Yeah. Finally, we come into the door that says Robo-Rex 27. I'm freaking out because of the fact that I can hear screaming in the next room, and I'm hoping it's not somebody I know. We open the door and walk in. A huge metal thing is in there waiting for us. Roxy puts her hand over her mouth to stifle, what? Barf? A scream? Who knows? Anyway, I think, why would we be in this room if Diddy could be the one screaming for help in the room right next to this one? We are wasting time. Roxy, I say, we shouldn't be here. Diddy needs our help. You're right, we need to save Diddy, so do we just walk in there and demand that the robot give her to us? Roxy asks sarcastically. Well, first, let's get out of this guy's bedroom, I whisper. Good idea. So we sneak out of the room and back into the hallway. We open the door that is labeled Robo-Rex 28.
I'm confused. They said they appeared to be right on time, but then they're being prosecuted for being late?
Yeah.
I'm confused. Whatever.
Me too. It'll never be answered. Inside, we see another huge metal giant in the corner of an even bigger room, and there's Diddy, cowering in the corner farthest from the robot. When we walk in, she doesn't seem to recognize me. "Diddy," I whisper, "it's me, baby." She doesn't look up. I think I'm about to cry, but then I just walk over to her and hug her. For a second, I'm afraid she won't hug me back, but then I feel her little arms around my neck and I pick her up, feeling once again her little warm body against mine. Ugh.
This is so, weirdly, it's really emphasizing the mother-daughter relationship.
Yeah.
Between a 13-year-old and a 6-year-old that she's known for, a week.
Yeah. I don't understand. And I don't know, what was going through my mind. Yeah, this is how, teenagers think about their 6-year-old friends. I don't even know what was going through my mind. She leans back to look into my eyes, and I look back to see the world and the galaxy and the universe right there in those tired blue eyes, and I'm thinking, I got my baby back. What is this?
I'm thinking, what?
Let's go, I mouth to Roxy, but then the monster stirs. Crap, I think. Crap, crack. Crap, crap, crap. The door is closing, and then it's about to slam, and I leap for it with Diddy in my arms, and in midair I think I've been stinking walking through the halls and leaping for the door, and walking through the doorway, and walking towards Diddy, and standing up with her in my hands, and then I land, and I set Diddy down, and I heave up the metal door. Go, I yell at Roxy and Diddy, and they both run out the door, and I slink out before the Robo-Rex bites my head off. I want to hug Diddy so bad, but that can wait until after I save our butts, I think to myself.
I like how many times Maxie emphasizes, I was walking and didn't realize.
I know.
I
don't know
I'm pretty sure you'd realize.
Yeah.
I've never had trouble with my legs working, and I still realize when I'm walking.
Very, very odd. This is, written by an alien that had, spent some time on Earth and, sort of understood how humans functioned, but then, didn't really understand at all.
They, slept through the second half of Human Anatomy 201.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're like, yeah, I can pull this off. I'm just gonna write this story, and then there's all these, weird discrepancies and, very odd relationships.
Behind him, his college roommate is just like, Gleebor, no.
Gleeborn. Now, to tell Diddy where to go and what to do if we get caught, and find that dude that almost ended Roxy and my lives. Whew, that grammar. But first, to get out alive. We are running down the hallway, running, in parentheses, and I snatch up Diddy because she's falling behind. All of a sudden, Roxy is on the ground, and then Diddy is slumped against my shoulder. It's getting hard to breathe, and now I'm thinking, stun gas! And then I'm out like a light.
Your incredible weapon naming rears its beautiful, beautiful head.
Stun gas.
All one word, but capitalize yes.
It's like Neonet. I'm sleeping and I think in my dreams, how did they find us? And then I think, security cameras. And then I think, where's my baby? I'm not ready to lose her again. I try, and I push myself into consciousness. Diddy's still lying there, and so is Roxy. And then I realize they are both behind this glass thing. Or maybe I'm behind a glass panel. I don't know. But I yell, Diddy, with 6 Ys, and Roxy with 6 Ys. But they can't hear me because the glass is soundproof. I pound on the glass to try and make vibrations or something, but it doesn't work because they're both still asleep. I feel like crying, but I know that's not what I should do. There must be something in here that could break the glass. A rock? I get up and look around and finally spot a loose rock. Why are they in... What? They're in a room and there's just a rock?
Keep reading.
I spot a loose rock that just might break through 1.5 inches of soundproof glass.
Do you know how much 1.5 inches of glass is?
Yes.
That's a lot of glass.
It's a fuck ton of glass. I pry loose the rock, and it is incredibly heavy. I heave it up and chuck it at the glass. It cracks just a tiny bit. I heave it again and again. Over and over, I throw that big rock at that glass, and finally it breaks through. I'm so happy I rush in there and shake Diddy and Roxy awake. Maxie, Diddy says sleepily. Yes, honey, I say, feeling happy tears sting my eyes. We should go, says Roxy, getting up and trying unsuccessfully to look dignified. Good idea, I say. How? Then I have an epiphany. That rock, an empty hole. Yes, Diddy can squeeze through. And then, wait, she picked up a rock that's 6-year-old size? Oh, God. Okay, what feels like an eternity later, the hole is just big enough for... Oh, so she just, like, went through that hole. She just glossed over it. Just big enough for us to squeeze through. I step through, and then Roxy comes through. We have stepped into a hallway. So they're just in a random rock room next to a hallway.
Hey, maybe it's a hallway carved out of rock, like in Kingsman.
We have stepped into a hallway. I see a sign that says, Director of Facility on the door. Me and Roxy and Diddy step into the room, armed and ready. Huh? Says the guy, a look of puzzlement on his face. But I killed both of you already. Now this is awkward. You what? Says Roxy, getting mad. Parentheses. Believe me, when she gets mad, end parentheses. I join in, thinking, what could happen? You killed us? All of a sudden, I want to get this guy so bad that I couldn't... Wait a minute. Have I been talking correctly for all this time and I haven't even noticed it? Oh my god. Oh well, as I was saying, I went to get this guy so bad that I can't even contain it anymore, and I tapped Diddy on the shoulder and she ran out of the room, and down the hall, she just fucking leaves. Down the hall to turn off the power. I leapt at that stupid bozo and started kicking and punching and bending any part of him that I could get my hands on. Then Roxy joined in, and then the power went out, but we still punched and kicked and kept on doing all this stuff. Then Diddy came in and found a stapler and started shooting staples at the guy's ankles. So anyway, we kept on doing that until the guy finally got us off him. But then he kind of just stood there swaying for a moment, and then he fell to the ground with a big clunk in all caps. We got him back to his swivel chair and tied him there, and we pushed him down the hall and into the room with the door labeled Roborex 27. We got him in there and shut the door behind him. From outside the room, we watched the robot slowly wake up and get to his feet. Then he stalked over to the unconscious man in the chair and swallowed him whole.
Well,
that's the...
Okay, that's easy.
That's the end of that one, but we still don't know why he allegedly killed us, so that's why we are back in his office looking at his papers. We found what the company is. Flagma Robot World Domination Products.
Okay.
How original. And now we are looking through the dude's personal files. Okay, he was originally a police guard for this company, but then it says that he was walking through the halls and the stun gas filters accidentally fell out and the whole hallway was filled. He inhaled too much of it and went kind of crazy. Then after he recovered mostly, he went to the real manager and asked him for a promotion.
He just gets like a good whiff of poison gas, goes crazy for like 2 seconds, and then just goes, you know what I need? A promotion. Clearly, the safety standards at this workplace are not up to snuff, and I am not getting compensated properly for it.
This is amazing. Holy shit. Well, apparently the real manager was his good old dad, and he happily agreed to give him the job as manager.
Yep, sounds about right.
The dude, as we found out, was named Rex, and so then he made a giant robot and called it Robo-Rex. Then he renamed the company Flagma Robot World Domination Products, and then said to the government that he was going out of business, and they believed him. So then everyone believed that the old building and all its old business was gone. But then they were in hiding, so they hired a whole bunch of workers to come into work at really early hours, just as the sun was rising, so no one would know that anybody worked there. Now, why did he try to kill us? Well, apparently he had a huge feud with my mother capitalized and father capitalized. So now he wanted to be rid of the whole legacy. Now Roxy, she had met up with him without knowing it on Earth, and she had stolen something incredibly valuable from him when he was asleep in a tent.
That sounds fake. What rich capitalist sleeps in a tent? He would be an RV camper.
Right? This is unrealistic. Can't relate. Blocked and reported. It was the key to getting a huge robot to work, bigger than the whole planet of Phlegma, bigger than the whole galaxy Thoris. That's our galaxy, by the way, in parentheses, smiley face. So luckily, she still has it in her duffel bag and is going to blow it up when we get back. But first, like 14 billion ellipses, boosh, in all caps with like 15 O's. Here's what we did. We sounded the alarm, screeching, fire, fire, and got everyone out. Then we set off, what? They literally, like, let the capitalists escape.
No, just wait for the next sentence.
Then we set off a bomb that Diddy had found on her way to turn off the power. It was hidden in a room that she had to go into when she was wandering through the halls looking for the power switch. We decided after much debating that it was there in case the evil Rex had to blow up the facility if ever the government had found out about that. What kind of capitalists are these? Then we found a cell phone that came hurtling down from the burning building and dialed 911, saying that there were bad people here. Then we left. More tomorrow.
That's probably the wildest paragraph in this entire thing.
That's one of the wildest paragraphs I've ever read in my life, period. Now we were back at the hospital recovering from our, quote, battle wounds, unquote, as Diddy calls them. I got my baby back now, and now I don't have to crawl around, and Roxy and Diddy and I are all going to a new hospital/orphanage on Earth until we can be adopted.
Why don't you have to crawl around? Do your legs magically work all the time now?
I suppose so. She did it once, so it's like forever. Like, she's good now. She's good to go. I'm going to miss Angel, Lily, and all the other nurses and other kids I didn't have time to introduce you to from the other wings of the hospital, though. Guess what? Lily and Angel were fighting about whether, wrong weather, or not we were heroes. I guess if you look at it in a weird sort of way, we kind of are. Smiley face. The end.
I literally forgot Lily and Angel existed until now, and there was no reason they should be in this book.
Nope. Not at all. There are 2 other stories in this, like, it's a series. There's a second and a third.
My.
The second one is called, oh shit, which one comes first? One of them is called My Fair Maxie, and they go to like a fair, and she gets kidnapped and taken to like an evil lab where she gets experimented on, and she finds a robot named Teddy, and he like breaks her out. And then the other one is Adoption or Not, and she gets adopted by this like super rich family, and I don't remember what the rest of that one was, but they're all like equally as weird as this.
Oh boy.
Thank you for joining us on the I almost said Robo-Rex inspection. The Retrospection section, where we review terrible writing we were once proud of. Join us next time when we read either a treasury of short stories or a book in which all of the instances of the word gonna accidentally got auto-corrected to gonad. Next time on the Retrospection section.